Welcome to the Assembly Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections. Will the Secretary please call roll?
Assemblyman DeLong. Present. Assemblywoman Dickman. Here. Assemblyman De Silva. Here. Assemblywoman Gonzalez. Here. Assemblyman Hibbets. Here. Assemblyman MacArthur. Here. Assemblywoman Brittany Miller. Here. Assemblyman C.H. Miller. Present. Assemblywoman Monroe Marino. Here. Assemblywoman Newby. Here. Assemblyman Yeager. Here. And Chair Gorlow.
Here. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for being here. Appreciate everyone here in Carson City for our second day of session. And also those joining from Las Vegas, maybe. I see 2 empty chairs. And hopefully there's a couple listening on the internet as well. Before we begin, I'd like to make several housekeeping announcements. The Assembly Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections is scheduled to meet at 4 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Our companion committee in the Senate also meets on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3:30. The Senate Chair, Senator James Orenshaw, and I plan to hold joint meetings in the next few weeks as we hear presentations from various agencies and groups. These meetings will be held at 4 p.m. Agenda items may be taken in a different order than listed. 2 or more agenda items may be combined for consideration. An item may be removed from this agenda, or discussion of an item on this agenda may be delayed at any time. If you wish to testify, please sign in at the table by the door and provide a business card to the committee secretary. When testifying, please turn on the microphone and slowly state and spell your name for the record. This definitely helps our committee secretary. And please also state whether you represent a group or an organization. Then turn off the microphone each time you are done speaking. There are 10 hard copies of the meeting materials for members of the public. Electronic copies should have been submitted to our committee manager by 4 p.m. yesterday for members of the committee. Members of the public may also access electronic copies of the materials on the Nevada Legislature website. We expect courtesy and respect in our interactions during the meeting, even if we may not agree with one another's position. Committee members will be using their laptops to view handouts and other documents, so please do not view this as a sign of disrespect or inattendance. Public comment will be taken at the end of the meeting. Each person will be limited to 2 minutes. In addition, the public may submit written testimony to the committee up to 24 hours after the meeting. And this time, we're going to try something new for the 2 minutes. We've got these little cards that kind of help you know that you're coming close. One's a 1-minute warning, and then we have a 30-second warning. You want to show them what? Oh, it's a 30-second and time's up. Sorry, you don't have a 1-minute warning. So that's going to help people who are testifying know how much more time you have. And finally, please silence all electronic devices. So I'll give you a moment to all check your phones and computers. At this time, I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce members of the committee and committee staff. Members, if you would each introduce yourself, please include the district you represent, and anything else, time limited, like only 30 or 40 seconds. Let's go ahead and start with Speaker Yeager.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Steve Yeager, Assembly District 9, Southwest Las Vegas. This is my first time serving on this committee, so I'm excited about that. I've testified a few times in that table, which is very, very close to the folks in the front row, so get used to that. But I think this committee does a lot of really great work, a lot of important issues come in front of the committee. We're an afternoon committee, so make sure you get your caffeine before you come here as well. But just looking forward to serving with all of you, many of whom I've never served on a committee with before. So thanks for the opportunity, Madam Chair.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Richard MacArthur. I represent Assembly District 4, which is in the northwest part of Las Vegas. I have been on this committee last time, so there's a couple times, and this is my fifth session. Yeah, been here 5 times. So this will be interesting, and I'm looking forward to this. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Gorlow. I am Brittany Miller. I'm the Assemblywoman for District 5. This is my 3rd time on legislative operations and elections. And I look forward to, again, as Speaker said, we do a lot of vital work in this committee. I look forward to that and look forward to your leadership, Chair Gorlow.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Assemblywoman Danielle Monroe Moreno, and this is my 4th session and my 4th time on this committee, and looking forward to you as the leader of it. We're going to have an interesting conversations about legislative operations and elections. Looking forward to it.
My name is Jill Dickman, and I represent District 31, which is parts of Sparks, a little bit of Reno, and the Spanish Springs area beyond north of Sparks. This is my 3rd session and my 2nd time on Ledge Ops, so, and I enjoyed it very much last session, so looking forward to it again.
Assemblywoman Gonzalez, you want to go next?
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Assemblywoman Gonzalez. I represent Assembly District 16 in the heart of Las Vegas. This is my 2nd session and my 2nd time serving on Ledge Ops. Looking forward to the conversations. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Rich DeLong. I represent District 26, which is the southwest part of Washoe County, includes part of southern Reno. I'm a freshman, so first time on this committee. My previous government service was 16 years on the Minerals Commission, 8 of which were as chair.
Hello, I am Assemblyman Cameron C.H. Miller. I represent Assembly District 7 in Southern Nevada, primarily North Las Vegas, with a small portion of the city of Las Vegas as well, in my 2nd term, and this is my first time on legislative operations and elections, and I'm excited to be a part of this conversation, dialogue, and good work. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Hibbets. I'm the Assemblyman for District 13, which is the north and northwest portions of the Las Vegas Valley, and this is my 1st term, so this is my 1st time serving on this committee. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ruben De Silva. I'm the Assemblyman for District 28 in Northeast Las Vegas. This is now encompassing parts of the city of Las Vegas, parts of North Las Vegas, and unincorporated Clark County. I am a freshman, and this is, again, my first time now serving on this committee, and I'm very much looking forward to the work at hand. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Sabra Newby, and I represent Assembly District 10, which is generally in central Las Vegas, extending a little bit to the west. I'm very excited to be on this committee. In a previous life, I was responsible for overseeing the Department of Elections at Clark County and ran years worth of election sites as a team leader. So I'm excited to be part of this committee.
Thank you very much, and I'm Assemblywoman Michelle Gorlow. I represent Assembly District 35. This is my 3rd term, but my first time in this committee, so I'm really excited to not only be a part of this committee, but also chairing it. And know we're going to have some really robust conversations, and I thank each and every one of you for being here today. Next, I'd like to briefly introduce our committee staff who will be assisting us this session. First, we have Haley Prohl, who will be serving as our committee policy analysis. This is her 5th year with the Legislative Council Bureau and first session staffing Assembly Legislative Operations and Elections. We also have Brian Fernley. I don't believe Brian's in the room today. Yep, he's drafting bills. He's with the Legislative Council for the LCB, and he'll be serving as our committee counsel, so we'll see him soon. Shruk Ismail, she's in the audience. She's our committee manager. Ms. Ismail was born in northern Israel and lived in Jerusalem for 25 years, where she spent time working as a policy researcher for the government. And before recently moving to the area, she lived in Boston for 3 years, where she acquired her master's in public administration from Harvard. So thank you for being part of the committee. Then we have Christy Howard, who is our committee secretary. Ms. Howard recently retired from, am I pronouncing it right, Fitch? French Elementary School here in Carson City, where she taught 4th grade for 12 years. Bravo to you. She's excited to be part of the 82nd session of the Nevada Legislature, so welcome. And finally, we have Garrett Kingen, who is our committee assistant. Mr. Kingen is a Las Vegas native who is studying political science at the College of Southern Nevada and enjoys helping others and being involved in the political process. And I think he might be a resident of my district. Are you my constituent?
I'm actually Assemblywoman Brown.
Oh, be quiet. This committee also receives assistance from broadcast and production services, so we greatly thank them for all they do as well. So thank you, staff, and for all you do and all you will do to support the committee through session. And with that, let us get started. Our first order of business is the adoption of the committee standing policies, which are posted on Nellis. These policies are fairly standard and revised only slightly from last session. They serve to complement the Assembly standing rules and the joint standing rules of the Senate and Assembly. Are there any questions from the committee on the policies? If not, I will accept a motion to adopt the committee standing policies.
So moved.
I have a motion from Vice Chair Miller. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a second from Assemblywoman Danielle Monroe Moreno. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Say nay. Okay, the motion carries. Next, our committee policy analyst, Haley Prohl, will present the committee brief. Ms. Prohl, when you're ready, please begin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Haley Prohl, Committee Policy Analyst, Legislative Council Bureau. Today I'm going to quickly go over the committee brief. It's uploaded on Nellis for your review. I'm not going to go through all the sections, but I will highlight a couple of things and point out others that you might be interested in following up on and taking a look at later. First, I would like to point out regarding staff. I recently learned this morning that Jeff Qualame will be assisting Brian Fernley and may be the committee counsel sitting in from time to time, so you may see him as well. In 2023, the Assembly Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections will have very similar or the same jurisdiction as it had in prior sessions. The final authority for jurisdiction falls in the hands of Assembly leadership, but typically there is a continuum of the subjects that come to each committee. Elections, campaign practices, the Nevada Legislature, public officers and employees, ethics in government, lobbying, initiative and referendum petitions, and amendments to the Nevada Constitution are the major topics that this committee covers. The committee will also consider legislative business, including measures proposing interim studies and bills amending permanent statutory committees. Bills that have significant fiscal impact may be concurrently referred to this committee and to the Assembly Committee on Ways and Means. I want to point out that although the Senate and Assembly both have a committee on legislative operations and elections, their jurisdictions are different. So there may be bills that come to this committee that do not go to the Senate committee and vice versa. Because many of the bills that this committee addresses relating to interim work and legislative business are exempt from certain deadlines, it is not uncommon for the committee to be especially busy during the last part of session after many other committees are not as busy. So that would be after that deadline for committee passage in the second house, which for this session is May 19th. Many times there are bills that need to resolve the studies that each house wants to put forward and other legislative affairs or business that need to be addressed. So just keep that in mind. For statistical information, there are activities listed from the previous 6 sessions for this committee. In 2021, the committee was referred 52 measures, 26 of which were adopted and reported to the governor or filed with the Secretary of State. If you want more information about those measures, I would refer you to the bill status webpage of the 2021 committee on Nellis. I want to talk briefly about the possible issues for the 2023 session. You will see in the brief an outline of some of the issues from 2021. You can review those as well, but possible issues for this session include, first, elections generally. Topics of interest include campaign finance, polling place accessibility, election security, precinct management, vote canvassing, and election certification. So these are topics that this committee will probably be addressing. Second, ethics. The Commission on Ethics is responsible for enforcing the provisions of Chapter 281A of Nevada Revised Statutes. Assembly Bill 66, which has already been pre-filed, proposes various changes related to ethics in government. So that is a bill this committee will be considering. Third, legislative operations. Proposals relating to legislative operations include proposed interim studies, the interim committee structure of the legislature, the allocation of legislative measures, the conducting of legislative business, the repeal of obsolete statutes, and statements of interest or concern to the legislature. Fourth, state personnel. Topics include contracts and salaries for certain public employees, recruitment practices, and harassment and discrimination against state employees. And finally, another topic, potential topic for this session is voter registration. Issues may include those relating to the implementation of automatic voter registration and the statewide voter registration database, as well as the maintenance of voter registration rolls and same-day voter registration. There's a section in this committee brief that summarizes the activities of the 33rd special session of the legislature, which met in November 2021. Reapportionment and redistricting activities, which occur every 10 years after the decennial census, are typically handled by the committees on legislative operations and elections. This last redistricting cycle took place in 2021 after the 2020 census. Normally, the redistricting process would have taken place during the regular 2021 session. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent delays in the delivery of the census redistricting data, the legislature was unable to complete the process during the regular session, so a special session was convened later in the year for that task. There's also a section on the activities of the 2021-2022 Joint Interim Standing Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections. Newly established in 2021, the committee held 4 meetings during the legislative interim to discuss similar topics to those heard in this committee. And the interim committee approved proposals for 4 bill draft requests to be considered this session, and those are listed in the document as well. And finally, I just want to point out the publications section. There are quite a few publications that have been prepared by the Research Division of the Legislative Council Bureau on topics under the jurisdiction of this committee, and they may be of interest to you. So please reach out if you have any questions, if there's anything that I can answer for you, or if there's anything that we can research for you. The Research Division provides policy analysis and research in a nonpartisan and confidential manner, and we are happy to provide research for you, not only on topics related to this committee, but on any topic. And I would also just note before I end that there's also a key agency officials contact list that was provided with the meeting materials today. These are individuals who may appear before the committee this session and are general stakeholders in the topics this committee discusses. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Pearl. Does the committee have any questions? Seeing none, thank you again. Appreciate the report. Okay, we had a very short meeting today, so we're on to public comment. Each person has 2 minutes to provide testimony. Written public comment may also be submitted to the committee up to 24 hours after the meeting. Is there anyone wishing to give public comment here in Carson City? No one's rushing up to the table. How about Las Vegas? I see someone at a table. All right. Please go ahead when you're ready.
Matthew Tramp of Las Vegas. I'm in Assembly District 5, and I want to discuss the issue, the policy when it comes to vacancies for elective offices, mostly focusing on the legislature. Right now, when there's a vacancy, the county commission has the authority to appoint. In the past, when this has been brought up, they have complained that they do not want the responsibility on this. And as a voter, I don't like how the current system is being done. Right now, you've got 2 members of both the legislation, one in the Senate and one in the Assembly, are holding elective offices that were not voted in. Now, obviously, special elections are the obvious case, but many people are concerned about the waste because it costs taxpayers money. I'm going to give an example of what Kansas does when they're in this situation. For example, when a legislator has a vacancy, whatever party they belong to, that political party has the central committee members or the precinct captains for that district hold a meeting, and then they appoint someone to fill the vacancy. At least this way, the voters have a say in who fills the seat for this office. So I would like to see a change in this policy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else in Las Vegas who would like to give public testimony? Okay, seeing none. Broadcast, is there anyone wishing to make public comment via telephone?
Thank you, Chair. The public line is open and working, but there are no callers at this time.
Okay, let me just repeat the phone number to call in just in case there is somebody. I apologize. This one? Oh, I'm sorry. 669-900-6833. Let's give just a couple minutes for anyone to call in. I forgot to tell you the meeting ID, which is 70. So again, that number is 669-900-6833, meeting ID 70. Broadcasting, is there anyone wishing to make public comment via telephone?
Thank you, Chair. The public line is open and working, but we have no callers at this time.
Okay, well, not seeing any others, and I will give that number out earlier at our next meeting, but I will close public comment. And before we adjourn, are there any comments from members? Okay, seeing none. Our next meeting will be held on Thursday, February 9th at 4 p.m. It'll be a joint meeting with the Senate Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections, where we will hear presentations from various stakeholders. Please note that the meeting will be in room 4100. And seeing no further business before us, the meeting is adjourned.
I like it.